Hello everyone. I'm going to be making a lemon cake today, and when I make a cake of most sorts of like plain vanilla cake style, I always make a big one. If you're going to make a cake, you're going to turn the oven on, you might as well make a big one. Now there's a few things you need to know about making cakes in the Thermi, and it's taken me some time to work it out. Some recipes work beautifully, some didn't. The same recipe would work well one time, not the other. It was quite bizarre. And then I kind of thought about it, and I thought, you know what, I think it's the butter. Because the blades go around so quickly, they tend to almost melt the butter. So I thought maybe if I don't start with soft butter, it might work better. And it has. And I actually, that theory was definitely made correct when I did a course called, now what's it called? Beck's Table. If you go to Beck's Table, she's a chef, and she does a lot of Thermomix cooking classes, online cooking classes. So do go there. Most of what she had in her class, I had actually discovered anyway. So it was good to know I was doing the right thing. Right, so what I'm doing, I'm making, you know, it's the old highlight cake. You've probably seen the recipe all over the place. It's originally 2 cups of self-raising flour, a cup of caster sugar, 4 tablespoons of custard powder, 4 eggs, 250 grams of soft butter, and a cup of milk. Now, I don't use custard powder. Sometimes I will use corn flour because it kind of does make a lighter cake, but I'm not going to worry about that today. So, I'm making a lemon cake. So what I did, I have milled my sugar with my lemon rind. So I use a really handy dandy peeler. I'll just go and get it. That peels really fine. It's quite sharp, and it will take the skin off if you're not careful, but it really doesn't take the pith off the lemons. I've only got Maya lemons, as you can see. It's fantastic. So I milled the sugar for 5 seconds on speed 10 with the rind of 2 lemons, because I'm making quite a big cake in a big tin. And there we have beautiful lemon sugar. All right, so that was done first. Don't clean the bowl, don't worry about that. Put out 250 grams of butter in. Now, when I make a cake, I get everything out. Everything is here. I've beaten my eggs lightly with a fork. I've got my milk. I always put a drop or 2 of apple cider vinegar in. In this case, you could use lemon juice to make it a little more acidic, and then it reacts a bit more with the baking powder in the self-raising flour. Got my flour, right, all organised. I think. There's always something I forget. All right, so we're going to put the butter in, cubed, cold, straight out of the fridge. Lid on, 20 seconds, speed 6. Oh, we've got a few. Yep. You watching? Okay, it probably doesn't need any more. You can hear that it's not actually doing anything. So wait for it to pop open. Look, there's our creamed butter. You don't need to soften it. The Thermi's blades are so powerful, they're going to do that. All right, so next we add in our sugar. Our beautiful lemon sugar. And I'll pop this recipe on my blog, which is bushgourmand.com.au, so you don't need to worry about that at the moment. I'll make sure that I pop the video on and the recipe. Now, what's next? We have to put the lid on, and the sugar and the butter we're going to speed 5 for probably 10 to 15 seconds. Let's say 13. Speed 5. I did scraping it down. There's quite a lot of butter in there. Yep, doing nicely. It's so different to using a stand mixer. Okay, we could do that again and cream a little bit more if we wanted to. In fact, I might do that. I might just scrape it down and do it a wee bit more. And you have to think a stand mixer has a wider base, a wider bowl. So that's why a large cake works a lot better in the Thermi. All right, let's do 6 seconds, speed 5. Yep, that's good. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to add our eggs. Now, if you add 4 eggs to that amount of butter, it's going to curdle. So what we do is we grab our flour and a tablespoon. I've beaten my eggs rather than adding 1 egg at a time. I think they incorporate a lot more easily if you actually just whisk them up a bit with a fork. You don't have to, but it's a better way of doing it. Pop the butterfly in, and the butterfly always goes between the narrower part of the blades. If you have a look at the cross of the blades, there is a narrower section, okay? And we put the butterfly on the narrow part. If you find that it's not going to go around, just do that mixing again for a few seconds, but not for too long. Especially if your kitchen's warm or it's a warm day, you don't want that butter starting to melt or you won't have a nice cake. All right, lid on, no MC. We're going to set it to 1 minute. And it might take less to add the eggs. And 2.5, whoops, still on there, wasn't I? Go back, 1 minute. By the way, you can just press the silver button to go across between each operation there. Time, temperature and speed, but we're going to 2.5. We never go over 4 with the butterfly, remember? It's going. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of egg, and a little bit of flour. And avoid the top of the butterfly, just sort of slide it in. A little bit of egg, and a little bit of flour. Right, that's looking lovely. A little bit of egg. I added quite a bit last time, so a little bit. It's 4 eggs in there, and the staler, the better, because they incorporate far more easily. Don't use fresh eggs in baking. Last bit of egg. We've got 9 seconds, so that's going beautifully. Basically, I was told some time ago by a very clever person to never mix your cake with flour in it for more than 3 minutes. And I think that's a really good, very good advice. So that's what it looks like now. Okay, starting to mix in. A little bit of flour around the edge, we'll pop it, scrape it down, because now we're going to add the rest of the flour with the milk, with the slightly acidic milk. If you pop your milk in the microwave for about 10 seconds, 15 seconds just to warm it, it'll really start to mix and go all curdly if you've got that bit of apple cider vinegar or lemon juice in it. Okay, and room temperature eggs, try and have room temperature milk as well. Everything room temperature. Okay, so now we're going to set it for a minute again. And we're going to be adding the flour and the milk. And we're going to do that on speed 3. Oh, I did it again, 3. It's because it's not facing me. I'll use that as an excuse. All right, so flour, milk. it around on the lid, don't worry about it. Flour, milk, flour, scrape it in. Shame I haven't got two cameras to show you. Milk, flour, how are we going? 22 seconds to go, we're doing pretty well. If it takes less, that's even better. Last of the milk, last of the flour, scrape it in, off the lid, and we're done. How's that? Well done, Megan. Okie doke. Right. I've just scraped in the last of the flour, but look at our cake batter. Oh, it's popped down because there was a little bit of bubble at the bottom, but look at that, that's gorgeous. If it does look a little bit curdled at the top, it'll only be at the top because of the quantity in the bowl. Just give it a bit of a stir. Now, how awesome is that? Lemon cake. Whew. Take the butterfly out, scrape it down, and we're going to pop it in the tin and bake. This, I usually use probably 150 fan forced for my oven. Every oven is different. You just have to judge your own oven. I actually have a thermometer in mine. It's a really good idea to do that because they all vary so much. Okay, so this is my tin. Right, it's a really big one. I've lined it so I can pull the cake out, and I've just put some, you could use clips, what are they called? Bulldog clips, or I've just got stainless steel pegs to hold the paper down. That is really delicious. So I'm going to pop that in, bake it, and then I'll put a photo up. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have learnt a few things. And if you have any questions, just pop them below and I will answer them ASAP. Okay, bye.